Hello everyone, my name is James and this is Real Biased Gaming. Kingdom Come: Deliverance is a medieval simulator/RPG set in the early 1400s in Eastern Europe. It uses a first-person perspective and a decidedly non-heroic or superhuman protagonist to carry you through the stories of impoverished villagers, lords, knights, and the struggles of a region caught up in war. The pacing of the game is as slow as the player is weak compared to, say, Geralt from the Witcher series or the nameless character you play in Skyrim, but the slower pace, the focus on survival and exploration, and the true-to-life beauty of the Holy Roman Empire countryside give Kingdom Come an incredible amount of life, breath, immersiveness, and fun. I love that this game is set in the countryside near Prague. There are so many stories and millions of incredible settings for medieval RPGs, whether you're using magic or not, and having explored plenty of England, France, Scandinavia, and other more Western European settings, I appreciate so much the completely new feeling this world seems to have. The Holy Roman Empire is not something studied deeply in the US and its history, and the experience of exploring this world is full of learning experiences, as well as familiar sites that kind of tether the game in history. I know was very influential on the modern world, the world that I live in. I will discuss this more as we get into the game mechanics, but the game shows you the world by making you follow its rules. Sure, you can try and kill a guard or murder a traitor to take their money, but your odds of escape are very low, and the locals, they won't forget it. If you don't surrender, then you will be killed outright. The game not only bends you to its laws as any other game does by limiting stamina or how much you can carry before you're overburdened, but it slots you into its social hierarchy, its social status system as well, through how people treat you and how they react to your actions. You're looked down on by nobility, not because the nobility is evil, but because that is what social rules required, just as you were given almost unlimited power over the beggars when you become a town guard in Bretagne. When I start feeling social pressure within a game to act a certain way and abstain from certain other acts, I know I'm in the middle of a very immersive game world. The skill and leveling system is immediately comparable to Skyrim, but it has about 5 times the depth. Even your worn and dirty peasant shirt has a rating for how much noise it makes when you walk. It has defenses against stabbing, slashing, or bludgeoning, and a durability count that can only be repaired by a tailor, and a strength requirement that you have to reach before you wear it. I mean, for a basic shirt, the threshold is 0, but it still has the rating. What so many games get wrong is that they turn these supposedly deep RPG skill elements into kind of a Skinner box where you're endlessly rewarded for boosting up endlessly meaningless numbers that are related to your character. What I appreciate about Kingdom Come is that these numbers on your gear, they don't mean that you need to keep your gear and really focus on all those numbers. You don't need to know all the numbers for your gear. You'll find more shirts, you'll find more armor and weapons. You just toss aside what is broken and move on to something different and new. But what I am saying is this: the numbers in the game are there to serve the player, not to enslave the player. I appreciate the fact that flowers have a weight and a freshness rating, but I don't really know what to do with that information. But it's in the game, and I appreciate that. There's a skill system that revolves around interacting with other people. And this is one of my favorite systems in the game, interacting with the NPCs. You're often given options in dialogue to either intimidate, convince, or leverage your social standing on the person you talk to in order to get what you want, whether that is information about a murder or simply haggling the price of bread down to an acceptable level. Your stats are compared to their stats, and that is what decides if you succeed or fail. What is so interesting about this system is that not only is it controlled by your main level and your overall stats in the speech skill, but it can be affected by your appearance. If you're covered in blood and haven't visited a bathhouse or even washed your face in a pitcher of water, then you'll take penalties when talking to others, but you might gain a bonus to intimidation. If you're dressed in a nobleman's attire, you'll gain bonuses to certain other dialogue options and handicaps to intimidation. Depending on who you're talking to, you'll never be able to intimidate the village brawler, at least not until you become the regional champion brawler, but you might be able to persuade him with a silver tongue as long as you have the skill points and the right clothes. It really is an engaging and rewarding system. The world is certainly not the largest an open world game has to offer. The map is about 16 kilometers square. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is about 49 kilometers square, though, of course, about 24 kilometers of that square is the water around the island, and traveling across it in a car is considerably faster than on a horse. And it is specifically that speed that makes the world in Kingdom Come seem large. It makes getting gear or sleeping in a tavern something you appreciate so much more as a gamer in this space. The pace is so slow And I say that in the best possible way. Completing simple quests feels rewarding and rich. Traveling between cities really needs to be done during the day, forcing you to consider how late in the evening it is. The map does not wow on how large it is, but it feels so much larger. Like putting a mirror or a large window in a bedroom. It creates a sense of openness and freedom. Quick note on the map, I love this map. The art and design, it's excellent. It's ultimately a kind of a minor detail, but I appreciate the unique take on a world map and the interactivity the player has with it. When it comes to game mechanics, I think this game really falls into the survival category, along with RPG. You need sleep, you need food, you need to heal and recover from major and minor injuries. I broke both my ankles at like level 2 because I was bubbling around in a forest at night and fell down a 8-foot drop over a ledge. And some of the stats that you keep track of things, they'll decay over time, like how your food decays in your inventory. You're really only good for 1 fight per day because taking damage absolutely will not be healed until you sleep. Your gear gets absolutely beaten to oblivion, so you need to get it repaired or replaced very often. As a biased gamer that has very strong negative opinions on every single survival game I've played, I must say I appreciate the system within this RPG structure. I don't need to find food every 10 minutes of gameplay, but it isn't something that is complete and a complete afterthought either. The balance there really adds to the enjoyment and the difficulty of the game. Lastly, combat. There are a lot of people that have pretty serious frustrations with the combat from what I've heard. If I had to describe the combat in one word, it would be long. It takes time. You need to be patient and wear down an opponent of equal or greater skill or gear than you. I find myself constantly having to adjust my expectations. As a gamer, if a 1v1 fight between me and an NPC is going on for several minutes, I start thinking, I must be doing something wrong, or this is like the final boss of the game. But if you're fighting an enemy in full mail or plate armor, you need to beat down the durability of their shield and armor before you can actually start dealing damage to them. That means that difficult fights can actually take around 5 minutes or more. But patience, young Padawan, because this is fun. This isn't a game about grinding through thousands of enemies, but combat doesn't come around very, very often, even if you're looking at it. And when it does, it demands a lot of you. But what feels good about the combat is that you don't feel cheated. Combat is well balanced around your level and your gear. You can absolutely get trounced by someone higher level than you. But if you're patient and you've learned the skills, combat is very rewarding and exhilarating. You have to remember you're just a regular medieval dude, not Kratos or Commander Shepard. You can't button mash, you can't face roll. You have to pay attention in order to win. In the end, Kingdom Come is a deep and rewarding medieval sim/RPG with a focus on social status, survival, and, patience. What you get in the end is a genuinely immersive and fulfilling game experience, a mature gaming experience. This game, much like facing the realities of the real world, will not appeal to children. It is a game for an experienced audience, a game for the patient and intelligent gamer. I've not felt so respected and so not pandered to by a video game in a long time, and for that, I respect the hell out of Kingdom Come. Front runner for my game of the year in 2018, what an absolutely pleasant surprise. As always, share those real biased opinions here or on the live stream. Are the bugs in the game a deal breaker for you? Do you enjoy this more realistic medieval setting, or would Kingdom Come be a better game if there were dragons and magic? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and once again, my name is James, and this is Real Biased Gaming.